My father cares.
Amnesty International's Anja Neistat interviewed refugee children and their families in Nauru in July.
No matter how horrible the detention was and the conditions in detention were, quite a few families and children themselves told me that now that they're in the community, they feel less safe because they're subjected to attacks from the local population. And of course, they simply cannot go to school because there as well, they are subjected to attacks. And there is absolutely nothing being done about this by the authorities.
Navid and Hossein are Iranian. They and their families were among the first to be recognised as refugees and released from detention. Both of them have now spent more than 1,100 days in Nauru.
You know, like everyone else in my age, we've got a dream. And my dream is to study medicine and end up being a surgeon, you know. But unfortunately, I can't do it here. Even I'm trying the most by getting to my pathway, but unfortunately, that's not possible. The studies here are not possible.
My goal is to become a psychologist in future, and make my mom proud.
We went to school. We've tried. We did university studies. They're all useless. You know, like even the certificate that they gave us, it's not a real certificate, or it's nothing.
Most of the time, Navid and Hossein just stay home. Even as young men, they're afraid to go outside after 10 at night.
People in my age, not only me, like everyone here, are really scared to get out of their accommodation at late nights because they're scared if someone would attack them or threaten them or like how can I say it, or rape them. Like many girls won't go outside in evenings either, like alone. Like we should take our family, like the female part of our family, outside for shopping, even shopping. You know, you don't know what will happen.
People throw stones, there's wild dogs. If you're a small person like Shamima's, for example, there are large packs of wild dogs that just roam the island. And it's not a safe space to be operating in on a daily basis, physically or emotionally. You see scary things and you're not safe.
Between Nauruans, public fighting is par for the course. Now that refugees have moved into the community, they've become targets for violence.
We are not talking about minor incidents. We're talking about attacks with machetes, people being hit with metal bars, people being thrown off their motorcycles, thrown off the cliffs, people sustaining very serious injuries as a result. But what's even worse is that there is absolutely no response. All of these attacks are being perpetrated with complete impunity.
Amid the everyday violence, refugee victims aren't a priority for the police.
They're out for their own purposes. There's no incentive for the police to help the asylum seeker population at all.
Navid and Hussein and their families have been hospitalised from punches, pushed off rocks and robbed. They've complained to the police, but the police haven't laid charges.
I think it's safe to say in virtually none of the cases there has been any action when a refugee or an asylum seeker was attacked or assaulted, and a Nauruan was brought to justice for that.
On the 26th of April, Omid Masumali, a 24-year-old Iranian who'd been recognised as a refugee and was a friend of Navid and Hussein's, set himself on fire. Hussein was nearby.
You know, unfortunately, at the time when Omid self-immolated himself, I was present there. And not only me, there were small kids present at the moment. And, you know, like, compared to the kids, you know, I can really control myself in many things, but they can't. They were present when Omid self-immolated himself, and after that incident, many kids, they were affected mentally, that they were crying at the night, like they were seeing nightmares. You know, they were talking about the incidents among the children. You know, it's not a really good thing to experience when you're a child.
Hussein blames himself for not being able to stop it happening.
You know, by seeing someone self-immolating himself in front of you, it's not a little thing. I can say that. Or self-harming, or trying to do horrible stuff in their body. You know, it's not an easy thing to cope with it, you know?
Some people say, though, that he did it to try and come to Australia. What do you say to that?
He did it because he was tired from here. You know?
What's the point of coming to Australia with a burned body?
Yeah, exactly.
What's the point of this? Like,
why should he do that to go to Australia?
Like, is it worth it? Like, to do that, to come to Australia? No, I don't think so.
Nauru Hospital wasn't equipped to treat Omid's burns. It took 26 hours for Omid to be medevaced to Australia, where he died.
You know, when people came here, they were patient. I can say that. Like, I was patient. My family was patient. But right now, even we got trouble at home. You know, the patience that we've got, it's demolished. And not only my family, everyone is like that. No one is patient anymore. They're just waiting for a sparkle to explode. You know, I can describe it like that. Not to do big things, like inside their family. Like, you know, situations in the families are really bad, and it's something that unfortunately I can't explain it.
And
you have to see it.
It's getting worse and worse. Like, it's getting worse every day. Like, they can't. I see that people can't take this anymore. Really.
I try my best to be strong. I try. My mom tries to make us happy. We always keep ourselves busy. We try our best to keep ourselves busy, and we don't go out much because we don't want something to happen to us, and we feel very sad about it. We don't want that. That's why we stays in our home.
At 13, Misbah has spent nearly a quarter of her life in Nauru. She's now a recognised refugee, but she's too afraid to go to school, fears she'll never see her father again, and she and her sisters mostly stay home for their safety.
We ran away from Burma because of the raping things in Burma that's happening to the girls, and burning houses and stealing. And we came to Australia. We tried to get to Australia, but now we are here. The same thing happening: raping, stealing, killing. I've seen people died. Some people burned themselves. Some people take too much medicine and died. And some people say that they get harm the Nauruan tried to harm them, to hurt them, and many other things like stealing, raping. I have heard many things like that.